Wait, are we like the OGs of this?
We are.
Yeah, to a degree.
This is like the same exact that we did when we did this 6 or 7 years ago.
And we're still doing the same thing.
I know.
You're hanging out with Tiger and I still have my tits out.
You know?
The progression of our careers, right?
Foreplay presented by Barstool Sports. We got a very special show. We have Paige Spiranac joins myself and Trent. It's a little bit of a throwback because myself and Trent, early on, we did a show with Paige. Trent kind of went crazy viral for the first time in Barstool golf video history, if you will, with Paige. So we kind of relive all that, and we love Paige. She's awesome. She's cool. We make jokes. She makes jokes about her tits, about our tits, about Trent's and mine. We talk about haters, all kinds of good stuff. So it's a fantastic conversation. We got to give a huge shout out to the good crew. Thank you so much for having us last night. I hope everybody enjoyed the broadcast, the entire deal. The fact that we've now done multiple. We did a Corn Ferry tour. We did a good broadcast, and that they allow us to be a part of it. And just the fact that everybody that's kind of made and created their own brand and all that in the world of golf, YouTube golf, social media golf, coming together in one place. Fantastic time. I know the weather's not great in Scottsdale right now. We're kind of going to battle through it. But again, I just have to say thanks to those guys. Hope everybody enjoyed the entire thing. We're going to have Frankie, Trent, Dan, the entire crew on next week. We're going to break down Phoenix Open week. We're going to talk all about the Genesis, which I'm going to down in LA. Dan will be there. I'll be there. And we're going to kind of react to the entire week, to the Super Bowl, all that good stuff. But a little bit of an OG show, a fun show. Myself, Trent, Paige. I think people are going to love this. We had a lot of laughs, a little bit of a walk down memory lane, and just a fun conversation with, I don't know that anybody, Paige, I don't know that anybody has more followers in the world of golf than Paige Spiranac. So enjoy this chat with myself, Trent, and Paige. Folks, we're here to talk about swag golf. If you're not familiar with swag golf, just listen up. Just don't do it. Just listen for a second. They've got literally the hottest drops in golf. I think our drops are cool. I think when we do merchandise and we sell stuff, it's extremely cool. It sells out eventually. It's fun to say that. It's fun to put the little banner up there and say that it's sold out. Swag golf, when they drop head covers, when they drop new accessories, their stuff sells out in seconds. I mean, seconds. They've got gear. They've got head covers, they got putters, they got accessories, they got apparel. Their stuff, it's got thousands and thousands of threads in one head cover, and these things sell out in seconds. So make sure that you're following Swag Golf Co. on social. Go to swaggolf.com, go to their website, make sure that you're signed up, make sure that you're ready to go, because their designs are amazing. The quality of their head covers are amazing. They got the kind of head covers that literally, if people leave their bag out in a certain suspect area and they've got a Swag Golf head cover on there, people will steal it. And I know stealing is not good. I'm not a big fan of stealing stuff. Theft, bad, illegal, actually. But we say all the time at the Barstool Classic, when people steal our tee markers, we go back to our design team, to MB, to our marketing crew. We say, you guys did a great job. You did such a good job that people want to steal our stuff. Swag Golf does such a good job. Their products are so sweet, so cool, so limited edition that literally people want to steal them. People do steal them. So make sure that you're signed up. They're made in the USA. They got curated collection based on different PGA events. They got all kinds of WM Phoenix Open stuff this week. They've got a lot of pop culture stuff. You just never know what's going to drop next. So make sure that you visit swaggolf.com. Make sure you follow at Swag Golf Co. on Instagram. Be in the loop for the latest drops. Their drops they've become events in golf that you simply cannot miss. So get involved, be ready, follow the Swag Golf crew, go to their website, swaggolf.com, and make sure that if you get one of their products, just one, then you're going to get a million because their stuff is that good. So make sure you're following them. Make sure you're paying attention. Swaggolf.com, and make sure you're following them at Swag Golf Co. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're joined by an extremely special guest who has a lot of history with the Foreplay crew, especially the originals, myself and Trent, which we were just talking about. We got Paige Spiranac. I'm sure you've been on the show 5 or 6 times at this point.
I think this is only my second time.
Really?
Yeah.
We did
you guys got big time and then just abandoned me.
I knew
it is what it is.
Come
yeah.
on.
You're too busy hanging out with Tiger. Yeah, you don't.
Well, that was
I
a
don't
good
give you
one.
any time
But
anymore.
that's not true.
That was a good one. We're not going to downplay
Listen, the last
Tiger one.
time, I think we shot a video or did anything, you left a gigantic bruise on my ass.
I broke your ass.
So it's like I had to have my distance for a while,
It was really hurtful.
What, the distance or the bruise?
The distance. Yeah, I need some Trent in my life.
The
No,
bruise appeared hurtful.
It was, and it took a long time to go away, but that's in the past. That's in the past.
It appeared too within like 20 minutes.
It
That
did
bruise
because-
was massive.
Oh, because we did do a podcast after we did that video, and then it was just right after, and we pulled him down, and there it was.
Yeah.
So before like YouTube golf was even YouTube golf, we did some crazy videos. You did the one that went really viral with her, where she hit at Jack's
Cracker
Jacks, which is now out of business.
That, by the way, was 100 years ago. That was crazy how long ago that was.
It's weird how it happened too. And now thinking back on it, you just sent a DM and you're like, hey, I'm going to come out to Arizona. Do you want to shoot a video with me? And I said, sure. And you flew out to Arizona just to shoot a video.
It was like a YouTube cold call. I was just looking for content to make. And I was just aware that I wanted to make golf content, and I hit you up, and you were nice enough to say yes. It was me and Gaz.
Yeah.
Back when Gaz was a cameraman. Now he's head of social at Barstool Sports, which is insane.
My first video, London video, was me and Gas too. Met him at the airport the night before. We took a red eye to London.
I think that might have been the first time I met him too, when we flew to Arizona, and then we went to whatever the place you guys are talking about.
Yep.
And you had never hit a ball out of someone's mouth before. I think it was the first time you'd done it.
Very first time. And you're like, so this is what we're going to do. Trent's going to lay on the ground. He's going to stick a rubber tee in his mouth, which is so disgusting.
I'm surprised I'm not dead from some bacterial infection.
And then you're just going to hit a ball right off of his face.
And we ended up doing it a bunch of times. Well, you were very nervous up top, which I was too. And then we sort of got to it. And then you did it successfully. And then we were like, well, we got to get a couple different angles.
Then I got a little too confident on a couple of them.
You were swinging hard. You were swinging really hard. And then
Just no care for your facial structure.
and that was bad.
whatsoever.
We didn't have health insurance at Barstool Sports at that point. So
We
it was
still
like-
probably don't.
I'm not sure. I don't know what the paperwork says.
You put
but-
me at ease though when you said, regardless if you hit it well or if you break my face, it's great for content.
Well, I'm a content guy. You know what I mean? That's
Risk of life for content.
Always have been, clearly.
If you get it clean, it's great. But if I stand up and my teeth are on the ground, that's a win too.
Even better.
But you did great. That was you. You took a risk with us that day, and it paid off.
And I've seen rigs in a thong.
We talked about that earlier too. We
did.
did a one-on-one match in like 2017 or 18, maybe?
Something like that. Yeah.
So 6 years ago. And in that video, we were doing crazy, wacky stuff. We did like a bat spin,
Yep.
a dizzy bat,
Speed golf,
shotgun challenge.
shotgun,
We did all kinds of crazy shit,
hitting off of Trent's ass.
Yep.
which you hit Trent's ass.
I did. That is where. Well, again, I just want to clarify.
Here
'cause
comes the blame.
Yep. Everyone
comes.
is like, how could you do such a thing? The tee was. We had to figure out how to set the tee up, and so we're like, clench, and we'll just stick it in your ass cheeks.
Yep.
But the tee, your ass is it's swallowing the tee up, and I'm watching this thing just
You got a
sink.
tight ass.
Like,
Daddy.
like it's in quicksand. Like
sorry.
it's in
I got
quicksand.
a dumper. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
sorry,
and I'm taking it back, and I'm like, I got it. I kind of got.
You sped it up.
Yeah, it's like I have to go down after this thing because the tea is just slowly disappearing and just.
You could set a drink on that thing.
You got to tighten that ass up, Trent. It's just falling through there, man.
And then
I'm just jealous because I want some of your cakes.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I got something going on back there in a good way.
I mean, you too, though.
Thank you. Well, hockey ass.
complimentary
I got a hockey
How's
ass.
Frankie's ass?
His lower half, just like his legs, it's like
Does he have
he's
an
like
ass?
anemic.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not a foreplay thing. Not everyone has a great
No,
ass.
it's just only the guys who started it have great ass.
Frankie's got some good features. I don't know that his like lower half is one
Wait,
of his.
are we like the OGs of this?
We are.
Yeah, to a
this
degree.
is like the same exact shit that we did when we did this 6 or 7 years ago.
And we're still doing the same thing.
I know.
You're
It's-
hanging out with Tiger, and I still have my tits out.
Same shit. Dude, at one point today, at
The
one point,
progression of our careers, right?
we're filming a video today, and at one point, I looked at Paige, and I was like, and it was getting cold and windy. It started raining.
Yeah.
I was like, I got an extra hoodie, but I feel like, and she's like, that'd be bad for the brand. I can't have a hoodie on.
I really think anytime we come out to film a video, like If there's a drought in Arizona, which I'm sure there will be, if you guys ever need rain, we'll just come out here.
Please.
We'll plan a video with Paige.
The last
and
time
it'll just be
too.
like, it's gonna rain.
It's crazy.
It's what it is.
Yeah.
It just doesn't fucking rain here. And
Yeah.
here you go. Well, we are kind of doing the same shit, but I feel like things have elevated. Like for you, you go to courses, kid, you go without being bothered ever?
It's so funny. So I needed to practice, get ready for the Good event that we're playing in.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to hit off the grass. So I just found this golf course and I walk up, and I always get a little nervous when I go to new golf courses because it's hit or miss in the golf industry. You either love what I do or you hate what I do. And so I'm walking up and everyone is just, heads are turning. I'm like, okay, well, this is on the side of they hate what I do. And I hit a couple golf balls and I just get swarmed by people. And everyone was so nice and so chill. And like, it's crazy, this community within golf. And I know you guys get it too.
Yeah.
Just how friendly everyone is and
Very
how
nice.
like appreciative of the fact that we just put everything out there and we try to create entertaining content and we trying to do good for the game, and they're appreciative of it and they like what we do, and it's cool to see when you actually like are in the mix.
Do you get, I know you get hate online and you're great about responding to it and you're funny about it, and even your comment about your all that stuff, like you're very lean into it, which is awesome. Do you feel like because we say this all the time, we get hate, but almost never in person. Do you ever get any negative? Do you get negative in-person interactions?
I'm trying to think of any hateful comments that someone has ever said to my face, and I really can't think of anything. I would say the weirdest and hardest thing that does happen in person is that I don't know what it is, I have so many fake accounts of me, and
like of yourself.
of myself.
Yeah.
People create fake accounts and they start like these, fake relationships with these men online to try to get money.
This is a world I'm pretty interested in, actually.
Really?
Just, I find that like guys get tricked, man.
Yeah,
Like,
and it
big
happens a
time.
lot. So like I would say
They come up to you and
they come up to me and they'll sit down and they're like,
oh,
like, you told me to be here at this time, and I'm
no.
like, I've never met you before.
Come on.
Yeah, and it happens. It's been happening quite a lot. So those are like the negative interactions. But
Really?
I'll say, like, when I first started doing this, 99% of it was negative and so hateful, and it's really changed over my career. And I don't know if it's because I'm just desensitized to it now, and so when I see a negative comment, I don't really I'm not bothered by it when I was originally when I first started doing this, or just that people are starting to see golf progress and they like different types of content that's out there.
I think it's definitely progressed, and I think people now are used to seeing non-professional golf is golf content, whereas
Yeah.
that used to be the only golf content. Like the
That
only
is true.
consumable golf content in the world was professional golf, and any golf commercial that you saw even would be professional golfers, or maybe like actors that are hitting a bad shot, and then like Charles Barkley comes out as like the swing help guy at Dick's Sporting Goods or something. But like generally the only golf content in the world was professional golfers.
Right, like I feel like when you started doing this, it was like, how good is she? And if she's good, why isn't she trying to become pro?
Yeah.
Like I don't think that exists anymore. Like even just for everybody, where like he's saying the goal was always in the past was if you're going to be putting yourself out there in terms of golf content, it was because you want to get to a certain level. Now you just make golf content to make golf content, which is what we do.
Well, there was no golf influencer when I started doing this.
Right.
And there was no path that was like, hey, this is what you do and this is the content you create and these are the platforms that you do it on and you collaborate, and there was none of that. So I was just trying to figure it out as I was also trying to play the first year of doing this.
Right.
And even knowing like how to interact with different partners and sponsors and how to create content for them, because again, there was really none of that going on when I first started doing this. And so it is nice that there is more of an ecosystem now where you can collaborate and you can ask questions, and it's not just kind of like you're out on an island by yourself.
That's so true. It has changed so much.
Do you ever feel like you're like the queen of the castle and you have to defend it? That you're like people are coming for your ass? Like there's a lot of competition, up and comers that are trying to like take the crown.
I think that,
Because you did create a whole world.
yeah.
You're like I'll give you deserve that credit. That's absolutely true. There's like this whole world of
Oh, absolutely. You're the original. And there's plenty that I think there's lots of girls out there that like almost fake it to try to be a you. like that aren't that into golf, but they're like, wow, this is great. Like I could just kind of show whatever and swing a little bit, and guys love golf and hot chicks, so that's great. Whereas you're like, you played professional golf for phenomenal, like that's, you know, you're the real deal. But I feel like people try to, like, that must be annoying at times. People trying to like piggyback off of what you did.
You know, I think it's different. So when I look at like my male counterparts within the industry, and I feel like you guys are all competitive but supportive, and you're down to collaborate and you're down to push each other to get better. And even the comments that I see, it's like they love when you guys are doing stuff together. But with the female side, it's always like the comparisons are so harsh. And it's like, this person's a better golfer, this person is hotter, this person's, you know, and it gets you in this mindset of, yeah, I want to be the best one, and I want to be number one and the only one, and no one else can compete with me. But that's such a negative mindset to have. And so I've switched it over to, this is great. You look out now and you go to the driving range, and there's so many more women who are playing golf, and there are so many more women who have a job within the golf industry that didn't before, and there are so many female golf influencers. And even if they're just starting to play for the first time because they want followers or money or whatever it may be, or maybe it's because they love the game, they're still playing golf, and we're still getting more women into the game of golf, which ultimately is a good thing. And that's why we do what we do, is because we love this game, we want to grow it, and we want our children to play and our children's children, and it just needs to be a more welcoming environment. And I think that we have done that, and I feel that I hopefully have made women feel more comfortable on the golf course of wearing things that are cuter, and they can wear leggings now. That was never a thing before.
Right.
So I see it as a positive and a good thing, and not trying to get in this negative mindset of, okay, yeah, I want to be the hottest, best, you know, only female golfer out there, because that's not healthy.
I think that's a really healthy way to look at it.
Yeah, you like that?
That really. I meant the. I meant
everyone else.
No, I meant the other one. I meant the other way. I meant the other way. Everything
I
else
would
before
be-
that was perfect.
I would be very into following that content where you were like, fuck everyone else. I'm the hottest, baddest bitch. No one else should be doing this. You're like, let's go, Paige.
I mean, we'll see. Yeah, I could try that, right?
All right.
Yeah.
Should I lean into that too?
You start wearing like all black and you're just murdered out.
I
Well, it's
Starting
funny
today.
because we grew up, and Barstool originally had much more of that mindset towards other media. And it depends now that it's not like, there's much more personalities, and so Barstool has evolved dramatically, and people that have their own franchises can have their own sort of approach to that kind of thing. But Dave's approach, obviously, for a long time was like, fuck everyone else. We're the pirate ship. It's all about us, and if you're not with us, you're against us, and we will bury you. And so it was sort of easy to kind of have that mindset, whether it was conscious or subconsciously, like you had that. And then, you know, us with golf, it is really cool now that we've tried to embrace that. We've tried to reach out, or when other people reach out, work with them. And when we did the good trip to the Bahamas, like we sit down at dinner afterwards, and everybody actually does share ideas and knowledge.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, with these thumbnails, we've learned this on YouTube and that. And then our guys will say something about how we film stuff, and they're like, shit, we never really did it that way. That's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
So it is like a, you know, collaboration is kind of becoming the new content word. That's annoying, I think, but it is like a collaborative effort where people are truly like being around people that are like-minded and have the same interests and are doing a similar job. I think that's a lot of the time why actors end up, you know, dating other actors and actresses, because like they have a similar lifestyle, and you can sort of relate on that and talk about stuff that you've been through together. And it's fun when we go on these trips. We end up, a lot of the conversation does end up being around what's going on in YouTube golf or social media golf.
We live such weird, blessed, but like weird lives. And sometimes it's hard when you don't have other people that you can talk to and relate to about these situations, because people can see online hate, but unless you've been through it, you don't really know what it feels like. And you also can't complain to people who have real jobs.
So true. So true.
We're just sound so spoiled and bratty about it, but you do need people, like an outlet to just get it off your back too.
And with the hate thing, you do find, and it's not necessarily a positive, it's a negative of the internet, but the hate goes everywhere.
Yeah.
Like we'll look at
Yeah.
groups and we'll be like, man, everybody loves them. They're so great. And then you'll talk to them and be like, dude, people hate us.
Yeah.
And we're like, they do and they don't. But because when you're in it, all you focus on is that. So when we meet these other people
That's
and they're
so
like,
true.
we get the same thing. It's like, all right. Again, it's not a great thing, but it's just the internet is the way that it is. So it's like,
it feels good to know you're not alone.
right.
Even if it's like
Feels
someone
good
else.
to know that everyone else is getting shit
That's
on
right.
too.
You're like,
100%.
you get miserable because you get shit on sometimes. Great.
I really do think that's like been
thank God.
that's been a nice thing when you meet these other groups. They're like, oh yeah, man, our fans, some of them at the time they hate us. It's
Yeah.
like, that's interesting. It's just an interesting part of the whole thing.
When that part about when you said going up to the range and getting nervous depending on who's there and all that, like it's a little different for you. Obviously women are held to a totally different standard and judged differently, which is unfair, but like you've clearly, like I said, leaned into embrace it. But for me, like if I go up to a public range and I'm going to genuinely try to like practice, there's a lot of people up there, I try to find the bay next to like the oldest people that will
See, that's my audience
hopefully-
though. That's where I give me like a 65-year-old dad, and
he's like, can I gotta get a picture
that
of you.
is my sweet.
He's like,
And
he's like, I got Instagram 6 months ago. I can't believe you're here.
Yeah,
This is incredible.
or he'll do the like, oh, my son's a big fan. You're
Yep.
like, oh, really?
Sure.
Is that why you had me write it out to your name? But no, but I'll go up there and it's like, if I can tell somebody gives you the double take or something, there's some young guys up there that probably like follow our stuff and they give you a look. I get so nervous hitting balls.
Just spraying drivers.
Yeah, because you're like, I know no matter what I do, these guys are going to tell their friends, like, oh, yeah, we saw Rick set some balls. They're going to follow it up with how'd it go? They'll be like, oh, it was a fucking
Oh, it was a disaster.
Like, shit. You're standing there trying to hit balls and you're like, I know they're hearing these shots that I'm hitting.
So when you talk to people like on the range, what is one thing that they say after? Because I always get like, I met this guy yesterday and he was like, I'm going to tell everyone that hates you that you're actually a good person. I'm like, who's everyone? Who are these people?
Who
Like,
are
give me
they?
a couple hours, I got to text everybody on my phone.
Yeah, he's like going to group chat, like Paige sucks. No, and that's like the biggest one that I get, that they're like, yeah, I thought you were going to be horrible and bad at golf and, you know, stuck up, and you're actually like a pretty decent person. That's the number one thing that
Really?
I get. Yeah, number one.
I would say ours is topical. So
Yeah.
usually someone, like if we've put out the Tiger video now, almost anyone I see will be like, dude, that Tiger video was something. They'll pull up some nugget from the video and talk about that. Or like before
I get a lot of like, have you broken 90?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's stuff like with our video series
That's,
mostly.
yeah, that's a tough
Yeah.
one.
that was,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to have to make you respond to that.
I haven't broken 90 yet.
No, she just said that's a tough one.
What do you mean?
That everyone always comes up to me like, oh, have you broken 90 yet?
Oh,
a
I
good
get.
thing,
I see it. See, I'll spin it.
Welcome to the spin zone.
Yeah, here we go. Everybody get ready. It means they're paying attention. That's nice.
Yeah, I like that.
You know what I mean? It's like if they didn't ask me that, it'd be like, I don't know what we would talk about. It's an interesting question you bring up. But when you have something like that, despite sometimes it being like, it's basically a way to ask, like, do you still suck at golf?
Yeah.
Despite all of the lessons you get and all the equipment you get. And I say, yeah, but I think it's nice because they're invested in the video series. They're generally nice about it. They're not like this guy, you know, he gets all this stuff and he still can't do it. They're like genuinely curious. I know. They're genuinely like, have you broken 90 yet? And I'm like, no. So far, no. The
Right,
answer's-
you're genuinely responding. No.
I'm genuinely responding no. It's close though.
An honest man.
Try to be.
I'm rooting for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know we've said this a lot. I think you're going to do it this year for sure.
I think so too.
You've been hitting it in these videos. Like we're kind of random luck, but like the last 3 months or so of videos that we've gone and shot, they haven't been formats where we've kept score.
Right.
So you've played, I feel like, extremely well into a level that would have broken 90, but we haven't been in an environment to do that.
I think that's right. And it's a little bit of the no pressure thing is helpful.
Yeah.
When you go out there to like, all right, we're shooting a breaking 90, very nervous.
Yeah.
When we're out there to shoot like a 2-man scramble with a good crew,
Doesn't matter.
I'm
You could-
so
yeah.
relaxed. It's so nice.
I wonder if there's a way we could trick you.
I'd love to get hypnotized.
Well, that too, separate video,
Okay.
where we tricked you into being like, yeah, this is a 2v2 match we're filming, but we're actually
Boy, you guys are really making me put
doing
these
a
things
break.
out. You're really making me finish these holes. I don't understand
We're like,
what's happening.
you know, like we just were like, actually, like Riggs got a 2-stroke penalty back there, so this is important. You got to make these.
I'm like, why?
And just trick
Why are
you
we
and then
doing
at the-
this?
add them up at the end and see if that makes a difference.
What if you need like a emotional support dog or like some type of emotional support? I can hold your hand through it.
that would be nice.
Yeah.
That would be really nice.
So I do think I can help. I think I bring the best out in you.
I think that's right.
Mm-hmm.
I really do think that.
She's like, we have maximized your physical talents now that we're going to try to get emotional creatures in here to help
Yeah.
you.
No, I think that's right. That might be an avenue we can explore.
Yeah.
Because I'm a mess out there when I'm trying to break 90. And I just need like deep breaths, maybe a little hand holding, and that's it.
Yeah. I think
Be
we can
nice.
do that.
You've got a big week this week. So you've got Phoenix Open and then Vegas.
Yep.
And then Phoenix Open again.
Yep.
A lot of travel.
A lot of travel.
Are you ready for all that?
I always say yes to everything, and then the week comes and I'm dying during.
Yeah. Future you. Is
Yeah.
like, fuck.
And then I finish and I'm like, why did I do this to myself? But the last thing is going to be the waste management. So Saturday is going to be a great day.
Yep.
Everyone knows that that's the day to go.
It is.
And I think I'm going to have a little fun this year.
Really? Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Okay.
That's the way to do it, I guess.
I think it's the way to do it. I've never actually done it that way, but this year might be the year.
You got to do it at least once.
Yeah.
It's fun.
How is the Phoenix Open for you? Is it chaos? Is it like you get swarmed pretty good?
Yeah. So
You have to. I mean,
it's
goes to a driving range, you got a whole pool of reporters around.
I mean,
you, so-
you guys know this too. It's like our main demographic
Yeah.
all in one
That's
place.
true. It is true.
So it's really cool, but it's hard when we'll tell people like, hey, like I need security or I need help. And they're like, you? Like,
right.
why
Okay,
you? Like,
diva.
yeah.
All right.
And then I start walking and all of a sudden you're hounded and they're like, oh my God, we
She
need to
meant
get her
it.
out of here like
Right.
now. But again, everyone's so nice and so cool. It's one of my favorite events all year long. Everyone needs to go at least once in their lifetime. Bucket list for sure.
I agree.
No, it is. I'm pumped. We're doing most stuff through like Thursday. We're kind of busy, and then I think Friday, Saturday, I'm gonna be able to just go to the tournament for the most part and hang. And that's my favorite couple days of the year.
What's your favorite way to do waste management?
Well, I will say what we get lucky now is we get the media credential, and then I talk them into getting an inside the ropes pass. And I kind of use the argument that you just made, where I'm like,
You have
hey,
to.
I really need an inside the ropes pass. And they're like, okay, what exactly are you gonna be doing? They don't do that anymore, but they used to. And I'm like, no, honestly, I just kind of need it to like get around.
Okay.
And-
what is your favorite way to do waste management when you don't get inside the ropes access and a media credential? Like before you guys were
The coolest thing that we did, I think we
Famous.
said this in the last show, but thank you. Famous was
That's not the right word.
we got up at 5:30 or something. We got there. The doors opened at 7.
Did the
we
breakfast
were,
club?
100th in line or something. Breakfast club. We ran as far as we could,
So much further than
which
you
is
think.
farther than one thinks. So you kind of need to
I almost
trot,
threw
I would
up.
say. One should do a healthy trot instead of running. And we got there, and we got like third or fourth row seats in the bleachers, and it was Saturday. We were there at 7:10 or 15, however long it took us to run, maybe 7:20, and didn't see a golf shot until after 11 a.m. And they're throwing burritos up in there.
Yep.
As the guy that rolls the greens rolls and gets closer to the edge, the whole crowd goes, oh!
It's really fun.
And it's super fun.
My favorite is when they put the flag stick
Yes.
in the
Yes.
Yep.
in the hole. In the hole.
Yes. And so I think that's the coolest way to do it, because now we kind of do it the bougie way, where you guys, people know you have a suite on 16, and I pretty much take the media credential, walk inside the ropes for a little bit, duck into 16, and do it the bougie way, which is great. And it's more comfortable. But if you're going to truly just like do a once in a lifetime experience, I don't think that's the way to do it. I honestly think doing it the
You have
bleachers
to-
way.
So there you go.
is
Do that.
awesome.
Do that.
5:30. Get out there.
So which way is the fastest way to get to 16 when you're running there? Is it
I don't think you're asking the wrong guys.
back
I
on
think.
18, or do you go through the driving range and go up number 10?
If I was doing it again, I think I would do it that way. But the way we did it, we were, I mean,
You
we don't
just followed
know.
the
We had
herd.
never been here before.
That
We
was the first time we've been out here.
we were like dry heaving, and
Not even. We weren't even close to the hole.
we were a
I
third
mean, you guys
of the
were
way there.
sucking wind walking up like a small little hill,
And
so I can't
mean,
even
like,
imagine.
Grandmas were motoring by us.
Yeah.
And me and Trent are just dead on the side of the
We're
sidewalk.
old now. It's like we've been doing this a long time. So
Yeah.
little hills. It's like I can't get up there.
Okay, so you think through the driving range up past 10, or you just follow 10 all the way up?
No, because I think you want to come in, the more I think about it, you want to come in if you're looking at it.
Because you
from
go under
10.
the underpass, and
Yep.
then you have left is up 18 backwards.
I think
You have 10, and then you have straight ahead, which is through driving range, kind of And then you have
I
to cross
think it's
over.
actually left because you want to come in from the left, which is where the bleachers mostly are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're looking at 16 from directly behind it, you want to kind of come in at like 8 o'clock.
That's where you go in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's the move, might be to go up and around. And it's an easier walk because they kind of have that.
Do they corral you at all? Like, do they make you go a certain way? I can't remember.
No, it's
it's free for
anarchy,
all.
dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's anarchy. And we kind of ran and it was too much. Like when you're at CVS and there's 100 different options for like a headache.
Right.
We got out there, we ran through, we were like, yeah. We were like, oh, fuck, where do we go?
Will you guys do it with me this year?
No. No, dude. No way.
Absolutely not.
No.
I just know that Friday me will not do what needs to be done for that to work.
That's too early for me to get up.
Okay.
And then I got to get up and run. It's like if I were going to get up and like get a massage, that's a different thing. It's like get up and then run till you can't run anymore.
Yeah.
And you're still probably like 35% of the way
Also,
there.
I got a media parking pass. You kidding me? I'm going to park right next to the fucking, I'm going to park right there. I'm going to walk in whenever I want, maybe 10:30.
And people say we've changed.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
Of course I've changed. I was 29. Now I'm like almost 40.
Oh.
yeah, people ask me, they're like, so how are the foreplay guys? I was like, Riggs was really cool back in the day. And his head is just the size of the moon now.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know,
Good things wherever I go.
That's a lot of work. You got to work really hard. You might as well.
thank you.
You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Might as well change.
Yeah. Well, Trent wasn't much slower to say no to that Saturday AM thing.
I
was
was
a
like
little
that was
behind.
more of like a workout thing though, not like
Oh yeah, that's like I don't want my heart to burst. I don't want to have a massive coronary episode at TPC Scottsdale. Is more the
for
plan
the
there.
content.
We've done it, so we did it. We film that? I'm sure we did.
Yeah, we did. We did
And then
selfie
I remember
videos.
it.
And
Yeah.
then Frankie and I at the Whistling Straits Ryder Cup did the same thing, which was just a couple years ago, and it's exhausting.
You don't realize how hard it is to run until you
actually have to run.
And I don't have like a runner's body, like my knees. That it's like no.
My time is like 2 or 3 times a year at the airport. When I'm running to make a connection, I
Yeah.
have to run. And I'm like, okay, I'm at D9 and I got to get to like D68. And the tram's always fucking broken at Miami International. And you're like, I got to run. I'm not going to make it. And you get to like D14.
I know.
And you're just dead.
You don't take private planes everywhere?
I wish. That would be sweet.
That's in a whole other thing. You know, that's like
Next
way
level?
above our pay grade. Yeah.
I do laugh. Sometimes people will respect because we travel so much.
Yeah.
And I'll have an issue and bitch about it online. They'll be like, I can't believe you guys aren't flying prime. I'm like, do you understand that these flights would be $40,000 every time to fly?
How much money do they
we're
think
not. Yeah, no, dude.
bringing in?
No, we're not
That'd be
doing
so
that.
nice, but yeah,
That would
no,
be
we don't have
sick. But no. American Airlines, baby.
Delta.
Just because they fly out of here all the time. You should not have to worry about where you're buying tickets to your next big event. We're talking Game Time, and we are talking Game Time is the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. It is our favorite, fast, and easy way to buy tickets for all sports, music, comedy, theater events near you. I'm looking right now. You can get $28 tickets right now, as I'm recording this, to the Waste Management Phoenix Open. They got wrestling coming up tonight, $76. We got Northern Arizona basketball, $18. Arizona Coyotes, which, by the way, they play down in Mellon, which is only 5,000 people or whatever it is. Going to that is like going to Cameron Indoor. I mean, it is tight, intimate, loud, $161 during Phoenix Open week. I can get a ticket right now to the Coyotes game. So point is, Game Time, nobody does it better. They got deals on tickets right up to the start of the event. Even an hour after it starts, you can still get tickets. It is the place to find last-minute seats for the best price. With all kinds of zone deals, you pick the section. Game Time picks the seats for an average of 18% savings, and the Game Time guarantee means you'll always get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code FORE, that's FORE, for $20 off your first purchase. We're going to save you $20 first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account. That is the code FORE that you're going to use. Redeem code FORE, FORE, for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. I wish we had better weather whenever you guys came. I feel bad.
What?
It's Scottsdale. I'm looking
I know.
out here. It's horrible.
I got to be honest. I don't like Arizona.
yeah.
I know that sound. I don't want to be mean about the place you live.
Why not?
I'm not a desert guy.
I don't like desert golf.
I definitely don't. I lose a million golf balls.
Yeah, target golf.
Yeah, which I can't. I can't hit a target. It's just I don't know, something about the desert that I don't like. My parents live out here; they love it. So I don't.
See,
know.
I like dry. I hate humidity. And I like nice weather. Ironic to say, but that's
And
generally.
New York's not perfect, but I don't know. The desert just doesn't suit me for whatever reason.
I like the space. I just like that.
What are your top 3 favorite golf courses here? Not private.
I actually don't think any of my 3 favorite actual golf courses are even private. I think the Wekopah Saguaro course is my.
You love Wekopah.
Wekopah's
love
nice.
that golf
Yeah,
course.
no one loves Wekopah more than you.
I love that golf course. It's Core Crenshaw. It's a little bit more open. There's no homes on it. I just love it. Then I would probably say Greyhawk Raptor course.
Yeah.
I just think that's even if it's not as picturesque as some other courses, it's like a great, tough golf course. It's why I think it's been great for the NCAAs. They used to have LPGA. They used to have PGA Tour out there, like event out there. So I think that's up there. That's number 2 for me. And then I would probably say I would put a sneaky one in there. It was like Raven. Have you played Raven?
Yeah.
Down by the airport?
Yeah.
I love that golf course. It's tree line. It's totally different. It's
pretty easy.
It's easy,
Yeah.
which is why I like it.
All the fairways kind of funnel back in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, delightful.
So good.
And it's just such a different look. Like there's a few holes that they legit. It almost looks like you're up in like Flagstaff or something on a few holes where you've got just like tall trees lining both fairways, green grass, and like a little mountain peak in the background. Whether that's Camelbacks or whatever's down there, and it's just such a different look. So I like Raven a lot. I would give a honorable mention to like Camelback Ambiente course.
Yeah.
That one's excellent. Quintero, people love. I've only played it once, but very scenic.
Papago's sneaky good too.
Papago I only been to once, and I played like 9 holes there, so I didn't see the whole thing. But it's got the ASU facility and all that. What are your favorites? Because I will say not that, but I do think this is like the number 1 DM or email that I get.
Yeah,
is we're doing a
courses to play
Scottsdale
in
trip, which
Arizona.
course you should play.
You named a lot of really good ones. I would say I'm really bummed out. So ASU Karsten was one of my all-time favorite golf courses,
Okay.
and it's no longer here.
I was gonna say I haven't even
They
heard
ripped
of
it
that.
up.
Oh,
Yeah. Used to be ASU's home course before they moved to Papago, and I played so many junior events there. I love that golf course. It's one of my favorites. Mountain Shadows is also just a really good par 3 course for a lot of people. So growing up, junior golf, I would practice at McCormick Ranch all the time, and I would clean the pro shop there to get range balls. And I just have a special place in my heart for McCormick Ranch.
I like McCormick Ranch because you can spray it.
Yeah.
It's a good course for me.
Yeah.
I had a guy last year, was one of my buddy's friends from back home, and he was one of these guys that was like, there's no way Riggs is that handicap. There's no way Riggs is that handicap. And he was coming out here for a bachelor party of like 12 or 15 guys or whatever. And they invited me to come play around. And they were like, our buddy chirps you nonstop. He wants to make a bet with you. And I can't remember what I had to do if I lost, but it was something. It might have been a lot of money or something like that. But if he lost, I already lost that bet, unfortunately.
We all saw.
For anybody who
Burned
doesn't,
into my memory. I
No.
can see it right now. It's all right.
sorry about that.
Content.
Sean. Imagine what could have been burned in your memory, you know?
I'm aware.
I blew it. But he came out and they were like, if I won and beat him, he was like a 7 handicap or something. He agreed. He was trying to play straight up. I was like, no, I'll give you a couple strokes because I was like a 4 or 5 at the time. So I gave him a couple, I think. Anyways, he had to buy all of our merch and then wear all year long last year. He had to wear Barstool Golf foreplay merchandise.
Yeah.
And I beat him like 2-1 or 3-2 or something.
Nice.
And so he was saying like 4 or 5 holes in, because they were originally, I think we were going to play at Troon or something like that. We ended up playing at McCormick, and he was like, about halfway through, I could hear him muttering, being like, this is a perfect course for him. I should never let him play it. Because it was McCormick.
It's wide open.
And it's a little tree line, but it's almost like wide open.
Wait, what's your handicap now?
I'm actually like a 4 or something like right now. But I had a guy tweet at me today, very interesting. I'd never seen this. He had a he was comparing, or he just takes my actual gin handicap, and then he has an on-camera handicap, and he was like, Riggs' current handicap on camera is like a 7.6. And he's like, his actual is a 4.1. He's like, he said something. He's like, I can't decide if that's like within the margin of error or whatnot. But he's claiming it's a vanity. And I was like, I think that's actually within the margin of error. Pretty good. And I would say last year, there was a stretch where I was horrific. But I went and posted all those. And I mean, I post 88, 89, all that stuff. And it doesn't affect it because you have one decent round. And that's the only one that counts.
Yeah, that's true.
So it like literally just doesn't even fucking affect it. You can post, because we did the Wisconsin trip. I think at Aaron Hills or something.
Sneaky
I posted
great place for
So
golf.
good.
Oh,
So good.
awesome.
I love Wisconsin.
But even on that trip, because those are actually some of the more recent scores that were posted for like on camera stuff, maybe the most recent. But it's like at Aaron Hills or something, I posted like an 84 or something on camera. And then like another round, I was posted like an 89. And then at the Lido, I topped like 3 tee shots, but still shot like an 81. That was like all on camera. And it's like, that still comes in as like a 6 handicap difference or something. So
That's
it's like,
people don't realize
they
how
don't realize
handicaps
that.
work,
Exactly.
and so you can still
we go through
shoot
that battle probably every week.
the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you shoot like an 89, or you can shoot those high scores. They're not going to use them anyways. They're
doesn't
throwing them
matter.
out.
Right. So I'm like, that's what, and this time I don't blame people. They're like, there's no way he's like a 4. I watched him hit horrific shots because especially it was off the tee. It was like awful. And so I get people for thinking that. But if you understand the handicap system, and like the one people that will never let me play as a higher handicap are like my buddies from back home that I play with all the time. They're like, yeah, no, we've played many matches where that's just what you shoot. You can shoot 76 or 77 occasionally.
Yeah.
And if you shoot one of those out of 12 rounds, it makes you that handicap. And so it is what it is. But like my average for last year was like scoring average was like an 81.5 or something like that, 82. And like that just comes into whatever the handicap index is. And that's also, we play hard fucking courses.
Yeah.
Like we don't play easily rated courses on camera very often. And so it is what it is. That's the thing that annoys me is people are like, I'm like lying. I'm like, I literally go out, I hit the shots.
And you film it.
I film it, write the number down, and
post it for
plug the
everyone to
number
see.
into an app. I don't know like what else you want me to do. I'm not claiming anything that USGA is claiming that. I'm not claiming anything.
Blame the USGA.
That's what I'm just like, I don't know what you want me to tell you. But I did see that guy put those in there, and he was like, he's a 7.6 on camera. And I was like, that's actually that's better than I thought it was going to be after the last 6 months that I had on camera. So I was hitting it horrifically for a while. But all it takes is one of those rounds, a decent round, and that's what holds your number down.
Someone asked me a question the other day. I do these Q&As on Instagram, and it's made me laugh out loud. And I want to hear both of your opinions on this. Who would win in a fight, Riggs or Robbie Berger from Barstool Sports?
Who would win in a fight?
In a fight, I feel like it's pretty evenly matched.
What an interesting question.
I know, right?
I don't know Robbie well enough to know if he has any like dark side. I think he's in better shape than I am, but I will say I've got like fire in me.
And you
That was
have the
gonna be-
hockey background too.
Yeah.
That actually was going to be my answer too, because I don't know Robbie that well either. I mean, I know him a little bit, but obviously one of the nicest guys I've ever met. But I know Riggs has fire, and I think that's important in a fight.
That could be the only difference maker, I think.
But he might have it too. I don't know.
Who has that will to win?
yeah, I just,
survive?
again, I can get angry and like, there could be some burning fire in there.
Are you just sitting with your headphones on, scrolling through hate comments that you get?
That's how
Early
That
on,
putting
yeah.
strokes only.
I was just saying, I was trying to think about how, if we were in a fight, how could I get myself, because he's such a nice dude, I don't know that I would be like mad. I'd be like, oh, this
Right.
is funny that we're
Yeah.
fighting. How did
we're
this
actually
happen?
going to fight.
I don't know.
You and Robbie.
Whereas like if I was genuinely pissed off, I think I would win. But if I was in just a normal mood and so was he, I don't know. He's definitely in better shape. He like works out. I don't work out.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. But I would say Riggs, but I don't know. I don't feel all that confident in it.
Out of all the golf content creators, who do you think could win a lot of fights? We're a pretty wimpy crew
Who
over
could
here.
win the most fights?
Well, like Micah is like jacked.
Yeah, he is
He's
jacked.
got like, but he's not a huge guy.
Yeah.
So his reach and all that. But he hits the ball farther than Rory. He's absolutely
It is
jacked.
telling that no name jumped out to me. You know what I mean? It's not like this guy is the guy. It's like we're all kind of like trying to fight each
Dainty little just
Who would it
YouTube
be?
golf people.
other. Bryce, yeah, I guess. No,
Yeah.
Bryce. Who? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's not one who's like, who would dominate. I think it'd be a pretty. The parody is there.
You know, if you counted like Francis is a pretty big
Yeah,
guy.
he's shredded.
He's a good golfer too.
Yeah, his game's pretty damn good.
He's
Really?
got the mental side of it's tough for him.
Yeah.
I can relate to
He
that
can the wheels can come off.
immediately.
Speaking
immediately.
of Francis, he and negative actual in-person interactions, he might have the craziest one I've ever.
This one's so funny.
He was at a bar and it was over like New Year's or something like that. And it was, I don't know, maybe Nantucket or somewhere like that. And he was at a bar and somebody came up to him and was like, "You're Francis from Barstool." And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You're the worst." And Francis was literally just at the bar, then getting a round of drinks for his group of friends or whatever. And he's like, "Haha, you know, whatever." And the guy was like, "No, like, you're awful. I can't believe have they not fired you?" And this was before he actually got fired. And Francis was like, "All right, man, like, whatever."
Cool.
And then the guy walked away as he was with his buddies chanting, "Fire Francis, fire Francis," in the bar.
If you've known Francis for more than 5 minutes, he's a guy who is not going to take that well. He's not going to like fight that guy, but he's going to go home and be like, "I am a piece of shit. I'm the worst person who works at this company." Yeah, that's one of the rare ones because I'm with you guys. Like, I don't get that. You don't get it in person.
What's the best fan interaction you've ever had? I was playing the ACC event in Tahoe, and this guy goes, "I got a tattoo of you." And I look, and it's entire thigh tattoo of this naked girl holding a golf club. And I'm looking at it.
Whoa.
I'm like,
Whoa.
it's like they look a little small, but thanks.
Wait, hold on. We're filing that under best? Fan
Wild,
interaction?
weird,
Okay. Best.
interesting.
Yeah. All right. Interesting. Okay. I see where you're
Yeah,
going
I
for
mean, we
there.
get sentimental with the good ones, but
Yeah,
no one
it's
wants
like,
to hear that.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, yeah. Like, what's a crazy one? They're all kind of similar.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, there are definitely some like sentimental ones that I know have occurred, and like there's like we had I don't know if it's like a fan interaction. But we had a guy like legitimately propose to his girlfriend at the Barstool Classic.
Oh, yeah.
Aw.
And like set it up through us and Lisa and orchestrated the whole
Does
thing.
she love Barstool, or is that just a tough beat for
No,
her?
Right. You got to be on the other side of that one, I wonder.
we all did kind of debate like, this is risky.
It's like
She
Jumbotron
was-
or the Barstool Classic. Which one you picking?
she was into it, and they did it in front of like the Barstool Classic big letter signs in Pinehurst and stuff. So that kind of stuff is like, well, okay, these people are pretty into it.
That is cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of I don't know.
I mean, it's hard for the fans to reach you when you're inside the ropes.
Yeah, Reese's like, I don't know what these interactions you guys are talking about.
Yeah,
I don't meet these people anymore.
that's it. I'm just
pores?
covered up,
Oh,
and
no.
barreling through there. I don't know what you're talking about.
Excuse me. They're all honestly like 99.9% of them are great.
Yeah.
Great. And even the ones that you're just like, the only ones that are, I would even, not even negative, but the ones you're like, all right, is when they last a little too long. Other than that, it's like, nice to meet you. Oh, appreciate it. And that's kind of it.
Mm-hmm.
The heavy breathing sometimes.
I'm
Close
the one
talker.
who makes it awkward. I think I'm the one who keeps it going too long because they're like, "Hey, bye." And I'm like, "So, like, what are you
Come
doing?"
on, let's hang out.
Hey, bye.
I don't understand.
You're like, can I get a picture?
Yeah, can we take a picture?
Okay.
Add me on Instagram.
Well, Wednesday night, this
Yeah.
is coming out Thursday. So last night, you played in the event, but we're talking before it occurs. So
Oh, yeah.
good luck.
Thank you.
Is your
I'm
game ready to go?
really nervous.
Really?
See, I get really nervous when people watch me play and when there's any type of competition. I am a mental head case.
It doesn't matter. That's the way I look at it. That's the way you got to try to do it. Again, I'm a guy who talked about for 10 minutes that I can't break 90 because I'm going to cry on like the 15th hole. But like especially for a scramble, I always just feel like, all right, let's just go. It's
Yeah.
not that bad.
No,
Are there going to be a lot of fans out there?
2,500.
Okay. Now I'm a little bit more nervous than I was.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It'll
Damn.
probably be more than that by the time they.
All right, we're right to be nervous.
Yeah, and I've played events in front of people, and it's okay. And I think it's because the bar is set so low for me that people truly don't think I can make contact. And so even if I make contact but it's a bad shot, they're like, "Wow,
There you go. That's nice.
she can hit a golf ball." So I always try to keep that in mind. But
That is
then
always amazing to me. Like, where does that come from that people think you are horrible at golf? Like, I don't get that.
someone came up to me the other day and they were like, "So you and Robbie play a match. Can he beat you? And I'm like,
Oh,
what?
What?
What? I mean, if I give him like 20 shots, 25 shots.
right. Like
Yeah.
if you and I played, how many shots do you think you would give me?
I mean, I was going to ask what you're consistently shooting, but it's over 90.
It's a good place to start.
That's
I
it. We
would
know.
probably...
We know where the.
Well, it depends. Like if we play from the same tees, if we play from our like respected tees, I think that's a big thing too. Because
I
I
guess
always
that's
like,
true.
You guys played same tees like 6,400 yards or
yeah, I would probably 10 aside.
I think that's probably
Fair.
pretty close.
something. Yeah.
I think
you would-
I think probably like a shot a hole.
I think that's pretty close.
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think you average, if you took out a few outliers, you pretty much bogey. You play bogey golf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you have a few big blow ups where that's why you shoot 94 or something. But like bogey golf would put you at 90. I think you play around there.
I think that's
And
right.
she'll shoot around even, right?
We might have to do it.
I think we should.
You wanna?
I want to.
Okay. That's something we could
Shot
do.
a hole, 18 shots.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. Match play though. I do match play.
Yeah, from the same tees.
Okay.
Same tees.
I like your chances, Trent Daddy.
Something we could try.
What's the thing? So the event, the good event, they have all the girls playing from the same tees as the guys.
Really?
Yeah. And I never think that's fair.
You do or don't?
I don't think it's fair.
Okay.
I think that we should play from our respective tees.
I do.
Because they always say, well, you hit it far for a girl. I'm like, well, how about the guys who hit it far for guys? Like, they should move back even farther, right?
That's fair.
Right.
That's very fair.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a disadvantage for you.
No.
I will say at the Barstool Classic, I believe we had you playing from women's tees, right? Or
Yeah.
forward tees.
Yeah, and then our match was a huge debate on what tees we were going to play from. We ended up playing the tips, which was just bad for all of us. I don't know why we
Terrible
did that.
for all of us. We try to avoid that as much.
Never
as,
a good idea.
was
We've done that
never
for. Dude, we played the tips. We talked about recently. We did play the tips at Torrey Pines. That's the least fun I've had on a golf course.
It's such a long golf course, too.
You're hitting a million shots and you're not even like to the fairway yet.
Well, that's what I tell people all the time because no one wants to move up tee boxes. And they're like, well, I paid for it. I want to see the entire golf course.
No,
I'm
you
like,
don't.
no.
You don't.
You want to have fun. And if you move up a tee box or two, you're going to play significantly better. Like,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
and have more fun doing it. And I always say, play from the front tees, learn to shoot under par, and then move back. If you can't shoot under par from the front tees or even par, then you shouldn't be able to move back.
That's a great point.
It would help pace of play. It would solve so many problems.
The tee thing, it's like a masculine thing. It's
Yeah.
like, no, I'm going to play. I'm going back there. It's like,
It really is. It's like if
if
you're
you can
not.
swallow your pride on that, you're going to have way more
But
fun.
nothing's more embarrassing than topping it off the first tee from the tips, and you're like, what do I do now?
Right. It's like you got to adjust.
Yeah.
You got to
Top it
adjust.
from the forward tees, you still got a chance. You might be able to get home.
It's true.
You know?
It's really true.
You don't have to take your pants off either.
Nope.
Nope.
No.
You don't.
Is that a girl thing for girls? What do girls have to do if you don't make it? I guess
We
it's.
play from the front tees already.
Yeah,
so
so you-
we
as long
always
as-
play the proper tees, so that's never an issue for us.
Hey. Unless you play in the good event. Then you're playing
Yeah,
all
and
right
then
there.
we're all the way back again. So I don't think that we can even give it a run or give it a go because we're playing against, like, if it's, I don't know, 175, I might have to hit 6.5 iron, and they're probably hitting 9 iron. A lot of those guys hit it really far.
They do. Those
Because-
guys
and it's an adjusted course, right? It's not like, it's like par threes, a lot of them.
Yeah, it's all par threes.
Okay.
I think. I've never played there.
That makes me less nervous too.
it
That's all
usually
par
is at
threes?
night.
Yeah.
I think it's also off of mats.
Beautiful. I'm living.
Everything's coming up,
I'm
Trent.
feeling great. We might win this event, me and Frank. It already happened. People know that we lost. People know. People
Are you nervous to, this is what I always think about, are you nervous to come in last place?
No, that'd be hilarious. That's the thing. That's the beauty of this world, at least the one that I have created in my own like lane, where it's like good is great and bad is expected.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like doesn't matter.
I feel like you're one of the only people that never gets hate.
It's not true, but it's certainly less.
You're so beloved by everyone.
Not everyone. But it's certainly less than my counterparts, which I don't know what the reasoning is.
I agree with that.
I don't know. Like, it just is what it is. Because I don't like when people get hate. I think that's annoying. And
Yeah.
it's like, you don't have to watch
What's
this
the hate
shit.
comments you get?
Well, they get frustrated with the breaking 90 stuff.
Oh, like break 90 already?
Come on, dude. Like, you're not practicing enough, which is true.
Yeah.
And like, they're just,
But it's still
comes from-
supportive though.
For
It's
sure.
like, hey, I'm rooting for you. Please just practice a little bit. We want the best for you. I mean,
true.
I read your comments and it makes me feel better about my comment section sometimes.
Thank you.
It's just
It's bad.
Do you look at them? Do you
No,
read them?
nowadays I don't.
Yeah.
There's no positive to looking at them.
There really isn't. And I really don't understand any of it. Like, it's like we have a gun to everyone's head that you have to watch our golf content or anybody's golf content. It's like, we're making you watch it. It's like a government mandate. You got to watch golf content. And if you don't like it, you get to say that you don't like it. But it's like, you don't have to watch it.
Well,
and then you don't have to be frustrated.
Well, it's hard too, because then it's like you listen to one of the comments and then someone else is upset because you did what they wanted. And I get that all the time. They're like, zip your shirt up and zip it up. And they're like, zip it down. I'm like,
oh, you can't.
I'm just playing a game. I'm like,
my hand is exhausted.
I'm like,
I don't know what to do.
It's like hot or cold. Tell me when.
And you're not going to win. And it's like, and the shit part of it is like, people will tell you to ignore it. And you do largely if you can. But if you don't, it's going to hurt. Yeah. Like, you're a human being. That's the thing that sucks. It's like, you can ignore it, or maybe you look at it every once in a while and people are like, just ignore it. Or like, these are people that are faceless people that you don't know, but it doesn't matter for whatever reason. It's like, that still sucks.
Yeah.
So
I would say too, like, I've learned that anytime you do respond, they almost 100% of the time will be like, oh, I was just trying to get a laugh out of you. I'm a huge fan. Like, we'd love to play. I'd love for you to come out and play with my buddies when you're in town. Like, almost every single time. So that part, like, you kind of learn that there's this wild disconnect between the comments and real life. And like, Frankie made a great example like a couple of years ago where he was like, he's like, it was wild for me to think that someone is like holding their iPad in their kitchen and they're commenting this incredibly mean thing about how horrible looking like I am and my game's pathetic and your content's awful. And he's like, then they just look up from their iPad and they're like cooking dinner with their wife and their like daughter running around. And he's like, that's insane.
I was on a flight and this sweet older lady sat next to me and she was making Valentine's Day cards for her grandchildren.
Wow.
And in between that, she was hate commenting on Instagram, like the most horrendous, horrible things. And I'm sitting there like watching this, like, expression didn't change.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. And it was almost like a therapeutic moment to be like, they don't care.
No.
Yeah.
They really don't. They're not. Yeah. They're like, you think that they're that mad, but they're just like, I'm going to say this mean thing and I'm going to go on with my day.
Yeah.
It's so strange.
Right.
What if we start doing it? Like, what if we start?
Just random peoples or
No,
like
yeah. Why not? Just pick someone a day and
We
say
can't
something
start
mean.
spreading hate on this.
Why not? I mean,
no.
too much positivity, right?
No, we need more of it. We can't start doing that. Although I bet it feels awesome to be
Think
mean
so?
to people. Probably, yeah. I bet it feels amazing. Why do so many people do it? There's got to be some sort of juice to it.
I can't even fathom it. It comes off as so mean.
That's definitely me.
Just a mean, like, to say, I just don't get
It's
where
also
that
just
comes
like
from.
that's the internet. It's going to be that way forever.
Yeah,
What if we just start hate commenting on each other's content?
that would get the people going.
Should we do
People
that?
would be like, what's happening?
Dude,
People
that
who
would
don't
then
see this podcast?
probably lead to some text being like, are you serious with that comment? That was mean. That was really mean.
I'm going to be, let's just positive.
Positive.
Yeah.
I like
Max
that.
Homa has a trump card on me. Whenever he comments or tweets anything mean about me, it gets 1 trillion likes. He had one on Instagram the other day about like my handicap, and it's just like buries
You
me.
can't win those.
No, there's no way you can.
Certainly
win.
not. They hurt enough like when the anonymous people get a bunch of likes on their comment. Like they commented something, a bunch of people are like, I agree with that guy. But when it's Max Homa, it's like, oh yeah, we definitely agree with that guy.
It's time for the ultimate face-off. The Beard Bowl is here as the two best teams square off to see who the champion of facial fuzz is. Our friends at Manscaped are prepping everything you need for game day. Do not let your beard be benched. I'm a big beard guy. Gives you a nice jawline if you don't have one. I got one. I've created one. I actually did a fun contest. Not even a contest. Just an eye test with our good friend Robbie Berger and our good friend Fat Perez. We were hanging out, me and Perez having a drink, and Robbie said, you know what? I think the two of you both use your little beards beautifully. You've manscaped them nicely. Let me do a little test of who's created the best beard jawline. And we did a little bit of, I mean, I can't hear it as well. We did a little bit of this guy. The point is, if you're going to rock a beard, it's incredibly important that you keep that thing clean, manicured well, and Manscaped is going to do that. The Manscaped Beard Hedger Pro Kit is the ultimate franchise player to take your grooming game to the end zone. It's a big weekend. We're getting geared up for that. This package made it easier than ever to craft your signature look with ease, featuring the Beard Hedger cordless trimmer. It packs one guard with 20 different lengths. That's right, no messy drawers full of guards, which is huge. I'm on the road all the time, literally all the time. We haven't traveled much yet, but we're going to. I took 100 flights last year. Point is, you can't have an entire operation going on with a million different things when you're traveling. You need that thing to be easy, simple. The Beard Hedger has all of that. You can get 20% off and free shipping with the code FORE at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use code FORE, F-O-R-E. Gear up for the real halftime show. Make sure that your beard takes center stage. That's manscaped.com. Use the code FORE for 20% off and free shipping.
Favorite pro golfer that you've interacted with? Unbiased.
What?
Unbiased.
Well, I would say the first one that jumps to mind is Kevin Kisner.
Yeah, Kiz is...
But like outside of that...
Not the obvious. Like, can't say Max, Joel, Tiger, or Kiz. I mean, it's your whole ecosystem. I mean, who else?
Yeah. We don't do videos with anybody else. I mean, this might be fall in the category that some of you just didn't mention was Rory. Rory's amazing. Mm-hmm. We shot videos with him a couple of years ago. I just like people who could be, not that you can be, but you could be a dick because you're Rory McIlroy.
Yeah.
But he's just like the nicest dude ever.
Or even not a dick, but you could just be shut off, right?
Yeah.
You could easily just not give much of an effort, and everybody be like, that's fine. We got him. That was cool.
It's probably a long day. We're putting you everywhere. You're in every video. You're in every ad shoot. But he was just like, what are we doing?
Yeah, he's really cool.
And he was very engaging. He was like, even the cameras weren't around. We were walking and the cameras just weren't right there, whatever. And he was just genuinely asking questions, responding, laughing to stuff. Like, he was great. Mm-hmm. He was very candid. This was like 2 years ago, whatever. And it was right after Tiger had just released like a brand new swing video, like post maybe his accident. And Rory was like, how about that swing? It looked good. Like,
yeah.
He was just shooting the shit with us about Tiger's new swing that came out and stuff. So that's a really good
I'm
pull.
a Rory stan. So that's
we
gonna
are
be my
big Rory
answer.
stans.
That's a good one.
I would say Callum Tarrant is a guy that we really like.
I just met him.
He's so nice.
Really cool.
He's a really cool dude. I always too like he's English, obviously. I always like when people from other countries like us. I always think that's cool. Just because, like, I know Barstool and whatnot is like big and around in our culture in the U.S. and I know that it's not that removed. We do golf and stuff, but like that guy's all the way from England and he's like friends with us. That's cool.
I thought you were about to drop a British
I
accent. Really?
I was like, I can't wait for this.
He's gonna do it.
What about you?
So I just shot content with Bryson DeChambeau.
Yeah.
And he was drastically different than I expected him to be.
He's got that side that's great.
Yeah, that's really great. And I think that was the one that was most surprising. Of course, you have like Jason Day and Tony Finau and, you know, the guys that we mentioned earlier. They have that reputation of being such a great, nice, you know, family guy. They're just good people. And you meet them and they exceed expectations. But with him, like, I publicly hated on him and like said
Same.
You know, things that you just would saw, like you'd see little, you know, snips here and there about like what he was saying, what he was doing. He was so different, shockingly different.
He's an interesting one. Just depends on. I can't see that from here. I got bad eyes. Oh, Sam Burns. We recently did something with.
True,
we did a
Sam
video with him.
Burns. There are
He's like
so
the
many-
nicest dude ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Bryson thing. It's kind of like depends on when you catch him.
Yeah.
He can be awkward and like standoffish at times, but then you'll get him like you got him, where he's like, it's like, why don't you be like this? Or at least try to be like this all the time.
I feel like a lot of the pros who have a reputation for not being very nice have actually been surprisingly nice in person.
Yeah.
Ian Poulter, Sergio Garcia.
Bubba Watson's a good one for me.
Yeah.
He's always been awesome with us and super friendly and like honest and candid. And we've shit on him. And like, I've heard about he can be hot or cold. And same with Bryson. Like, he can be hot or cold. And I think Bryson too is like when you catch him in tournaments in certain modes where he's really grinding or frustrated with part of his game, I think he's really zoned into a different person. Whereas when we catch him, like we haven't really caught him off property or like Bahamas or wherever you guys were, which is like, he's probably going to be not in that mode almost the whole time.
Yeah.
But we've caught him at tournaments in that same chill mode, like the U.S. Open last year when he came up to us at LA Country Club. And he was awesome, and he's in on the jokes and all that. So some people are a little more hot and cold, which I respect. Everybody kind of runs differently. But
Ian Poulter's one we'll never get.
No, he hates us.
He hates
Why
us.
would you do?
We talked a lot of shit for a long time. But, it's just all in good. Well,
It wasn't in good fun. We were kind
It's
of
always
mean.
hard when you are just saying things for
oh my gosh,
likes or
the first
Absolutely.
and then
first-
you have to meet them and you're like, I can't believe I said all of that stuff. I'm the biggest coward ever.
the first 5 years of our Barstool careers you just never think it's gonna get as big as it's gonna get.
Ever.
And you're just like, let's throw stones. This is the most fun to do. And then you're right, you meet them and you're like,
Or you don't expect them to actually look at what you're saying. I said something nice about a player and they reached out and were like, thank you so much for the support. I'm like, you fucking saw that?
I know.
Like, you saw then all the other stuff I was
Right, I don't know.
doing. And I was like, oh my
This is
gosh.
great. We're on the other side of the commenter thing that we were talking about.
Oh, that's
We're
so true.
We're literally we were just throwing grenades at these people online, and now we have to meet them. What the fuck?
That's a really good point. I'm glad you brought that back. Because I would have blindly just been like, all this stuff is so crazy. It's like you were literally just talking about
You're
it.
shitting on Ian Poulter, and then you're standing right next to him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Not only
okay.
that, or just the fact that like we have a digital footprint forever, and I tend to forget about that. And then
Yeah.
I'm gonna have kids, and I'm gonna look back and be like, there's a video online of me seeing how many hot dogs I can eat in 10 minutes in a bikini. Like, lovely,
Picture me
lovely.
jumping into just a toxic pond in a thong because Paige Spiranac beat me in a video.
This is what it is, content.
I feel like all the best content happens when we work together.
We have good chemistry, us, our crew, and you. For
We're
sure.
long overdue.
Long overdue. So I think we need to have a rematch.
Yeah,
Okay.
Riggs and you.
And I will be your emotional support bitch. Does that work?
That was her, not me. I didn't say that.
Whoa, Trent.
But yeah, we might need some emotional support out there at some point
Yeah.
because I can't break 90 still.
All right, Paige Spiranac, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. Let's get these matches on the books. And good luck, even though this was last night, in this world that we're living in right now, it's tomorrow night. Good luck in the good Desert Open.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.